What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another commentary video for Midnight Season 1. This is going to be 17 Skyreach that I did as Affliction Warlock. We're going to jump right into the video here, guys. Before we do that, though, definitely leave a like on the video, leave a comment, subscribe if you enjoy this style of video. Definitely do let me know. I am planning to do more of these in the future. And all that stuff really helps me out, helps the channel grow, and helps out with the algorithm. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. So we are playing Affliction here. As the tank is gathering, I'm just going to start throwing out agonies. Ideally, when everything's grouped up, you want to send a curse. Ideally, Curse of Tongues. Sometimes I don't do that, so don't hold it against me. So the way you're going to open up is once everything's gathered, you're going to seed. You're going to send Dark Lair with your Trinket Pot, and then after you send Dark Lair, you're going to full channel Dark Harvest, and just go into the seed spam. So as far as agonies go, you do want to keep these up in AoE. They do a large portion of your damage, so you generally want to kind of refresh them as much as you can without capping shards.
Holy shit.
For shard gen, you only need about, I think it's 4 to 5 agonies out to get full shard gen. Everything else beyond that is just damage, but you do want to keep them up as you can for damage. So I am playing Drain Soul. I tried Drain Soul and Shadow Bolt. Drain Soul is kind of more damage on bosses, which is where Aff is really struggling right now. Shadow Bolt is really nice for movement, but I think just the extra damage with Drain Soul is kind of important. So again, in AoE packs, you just want to keep your agonies up. Send seeds as much as you can. You should be playing with a talent that gives you free seeds with Nightfall. So basically, anytime you get a Nightfall, send it on your seed. Casting Haunt does give you a Nightfall if you're playing Soul Harvester, which you should be playing right now. So here I just sent Dark Lair on cooldown. And you can seed up to down to 2 targets. So already on 2 targets you should be using seed. For boss, your rotation is kind of simple. You just keep up your agony, agony haunt, and then you want to just use UA as much as you can. Remember, if you're playing Soul Harvester, that Dark Harvest gives you 3 shards when you channel it. So you do want to go and deplete your shards before you channel that. Ideally, you should be hovering around like 1 to 2 shards almost all the time as a Soul Harvester, just because of those shards that you get off Dark Harvest. Also, like on the subject of Dark Harvest, you also want to be sending that on cooldown as much as humanly possible, especially if you're running the CDR talent. So the longer you hold that after it comes off cooldown, the less value you're getting out of the CDR. Pretty much there's no reason to hold it unless like you're in an AoE pack and everything's at like 2%, then yeah, hold it. But other than that, just fire that away. So So you can get it rolling off cooldown and start also getting value off your CDR. If you don't know what CDR is, it's cooldown reduction. So you see most of the time I'm like hovering pretty low, like around 1-2 shards. If you want a full channel Drain Soul, if you get Nightfall, it's a lot of damage. Remember, it has to tick, the full duration of Drain Soul has to tick with Nightfall to get the whole damage buff. So if you miss some of the later ticks, you're missing a little bit of damage. Which is why the movement of Shadow Bolt is pretty nice. The instant Nightfall Shadow Bolts, you just get the full damage up front. No need to stand and channel the whole time. But you can kind of plan around it. Plan your movement around having to full channel Drain Soul. Some bosses are pretty difficult. Like I know, for example, the first boss, or the bird boss in Windrunner Spire, is a little bit of a pain in the ass with Drain Soul. And as you guys can probably tell, or if you have probably played AF this season at all, the single target damage is pretty bad. It is not good. But I mean, it's still fun. 'Cause I love playing this spec, man. It's one of my favorite specs in the game. So we're just going to agony stuff. I'm going to start sending out seeds. As soon as stuff is clumped, you can just start sending out seeds. You're going to see my harvest comes off cooldown. I think I'm waiting for him to chain. Like I'm literally just waiting to see if he's going to chain, which he eventually does. So as soon as that's chained, I'm going to kind of wait a little bit. See there, like I greeted. I had Dark Harvest channel going, so I just greeted into the circle. Don't do that if you're doing like a 20 or something. Like that's gonna get you killed. But so like that whole little sequence there, the reason I guess why I was holding Dark Harvest, I held Dark Harvest for a little while. A, I was waiting for him to chain, and then B, once he did chain, I saw my trinket and potion stuff was coming off cooldown. So I think I figured just wait and hold it for potion trinket, which I guess is pretty logical and reasonable. Again here, it's off cooldown. I'm kind of waiting for him to chain so I could send it, which eventually he does. So I guess kind of a good way to hold it. I mean, ideally you shouldn't be holding it, but if you know your tank's going to chain soon, it doesn't hurt to hold it for like another 4 or 5 seconds. Speaking of Dark Harvest, that is. So yeah, like as far as agony refreshes go, I try to get them as much as I can without overcapping shards. Also sending Dark Harvest like on cooldown. You do want to be sending Haunt on cooldown also in AoE. Just because it gives you a Nightfall and you can send that on Seed. So it's not like you're really wasting a global. It's also going to give you more prio damage if you just keep Haunt on a prio target.
I'm so hungry. So very hungry.
So we go into boss here. This boss is pretty straightforward. You're really just going to help soak the lines. If you're in a line, use your defensives. You have Pact, Wall, Coil, Silver and Hellstone, Health Pot. Drain Life as a last resort if you really need to. Definitely make use of all of those buttons. We are just refreshing Agony Haunt, staying low on shards, and draining away. I have Harvest coming up soon, so I want to dump shards if I can. Got to shard cap there, so I want to make sure I dump. I really wish this spec did more single target, man. It's like really fun to play. I like the seed play style. I do kind of miss Rapture, but I do like the seed play style. I just really wish it did more boss damage in keys. Who knows? Maybe they'll buff it again. Maybe next season. That'd be awesome. So Harvest coming up. Gonna dump more UAs. So in this key, I wasn't using there's a talent where I believe Shadowbolt and Drain Soul has a chance to give you a free UA cast. I forget what the name of the talent is. It's like on the left side of the tree. I think it's Shard Instability. I believe. I'm not playing that talent here. I started after this key. I started playing with that talent. Gives you a little bit more boss damage, which you kind of need like every bit of. And I dropped, there's like a Dark Glare talent that I dropped. I think it's the one that makes Dark Glare 5 seconds longer. Also started kind of messing around with Malefic Grasp a little bit. Really trying to find really trying to find ways to just get more boss damage. Any way humanly possible. I think the problem I was kind of noticing with AF when you're going through the tree is just there's a lot of stuff you really want and you can't get. And I think Destro has kind of the same problem. Just really bad talent bloat. Or DK ripped threat here. So kind of important to note right here. So if you're going into a pack with like full shards and your Dark Harvest is off cooldown, just rip it. Just rip Dark Harvest. Like you don't need to dump down to 2 or 1. You're gonna overcap anyway. Just like Agony on the gather, seed when everything's clumped. And then if you're like at 5 shards, just send Harvest. It doesn't matter. You'd rather get it on cooldown. Because like I said, you're just going to shard cap anyway. You'd rather just get the cooldown rolling. And then as soon as you have that cooldown rolling, you're at full shards, you send some seeds, and you start getting the CDR on it. So here, we're gonna get the bird spawns. I'm gonna try to kill the birds, just dot them. If the bird is close to the big bird, the boss, you can just seed. If they are spread out, then just UA. And then you want to just use defensives while it's out. You can crowd control it, so you can use Shadow Fury, Coil. You can fear it away from you if it's going to hit you. You can also Curse of Exhaustion it to just slow it. So I think like right about here, he'd be too far away from the boss to seed. So the bird comes out. I'm going to dot the bird. DK gripped it closer to us, so I Shadow Furied. It's a brave soul trying to tank that bird. Bird comes out, we're gonna dot. If you can, also haunt the bird. Haunt the ad that comes out. I keep saying bird, and there's two birds in this fight. If you can, haunt the ad that comes out, because when it dies, you'll just get haunt reset, which gives you a extra nightfall. So here, the bird is pretty close. Kind of coil it away a little bit. Get a haunt out. Get a nice reset. Agony dropped on the boss, which kind of sucks. You gotta hide. So let's see if I do the gate here. This gate is kind of like a pain in the ass. Let me pause this. This gate's kind of like a pain in the ass to put down. You kind of want to be like, if you see the staircase I'm at, you want to be like at the, where that little like railing starts, like on the upper right ledge. Kind of want to stand like around where that railing starts. I know it's really hard to see. It's like kind of understand what I'm describing. And then you want to point your mouse towards like where that bird, the very bottom bird that you see, like that's closer to you. You kind of want to point your mouse somewhere around there. It's really hard. So like another thing too with this gate is so like when you take this gate, you gotta be careful if there's a tornado coming. And then also like once you take the gate, you want to run, like immediately start running back towards where you came from, so you don't fall. So like I run immediately back towards there. If you get hit by a tornado, you're gonna get screwed like this. That's a pretty annoying gate. But if you can get it off fast, it does definitely help save time a little bit. So just gathering up here. I'm kind of waiting for the tank to chain. I don't know what he's doing. I think I butt pulled the stuff behind us. We're gonna seed when everything gets clumped. And just go into seed spam, make sure my agonies are refreshed. I'd say like on a pull size about this, like 5 to 6, you definitely don't want to let your agonies drop ever. You can fit like 2 or 3 globals to get agonies in for sure. On the bigger pulls, it gets a lot harder. Again, I would like try, like if you're on like a 20 target pull, there's no way you're gonna keep all those agonies up. So like don't even try. Just try to keep like around, I'd say a good rule of thumb at all times is like try to keep around like 5 or 6 agonies up constantly. Especially on like prio targets and like really, really big pulls. So you saw there I sent Harvest. I was already at 3 shards. Overcapped. Not terribly the end of the world. I will say right now, like it's very hard in AoE to
Workable, salvageable.
consistently stay
Some
at low shards. Very hard to shard dump
maybe he's like going
and keep your dots up. So don't honestly don't stress too much if you're shard capped for a little bit. Like a couple globals while you're refreshing dots. If you ever do run out of shards, just use your Drain Soul or Shadow Bolt like on a Prow target. So like here would probably be the Construct. I believe he has like the highest health. That's why I have my Haunt on him. Also important, good note here. So we do have a talent now that makes Seed do more damage to a Prow target. So you definitely want to be sending Seed on whatever you are prowing. So if you get this beam, that is also a good time to use a defensive. Kind of walled late there, but it's only a 17. It's not too high. So we're gonna fresh our dots.
no way in hell I'm killing that word.
Here I kind of just pry out whatever's highest health percentage. I'm looking at my nameplates. Swap onto that. Make sure my dots don't drop. Keep sending seeds. Got harvest coming up here soon, so I should probably send it. Back to seeds. You can see these solar orbs. So that's like another good example. Like you need to kill that orb fast, so swap target to it and prio seed on it. And if you have haunt, definitely send it on that too. So this boss, again, not too much going on. Want to help kick him. You get the little circle, kite it outside. Preferably away from like the middle here, because you'll see the ad comes and drags in the middle. So if you close off this area, your melee can't hit the ad, which is going to be very bad. So you see here, I get it, I kite out. I do put a port down where the boss is over there, so I can just port back. You can kind of do like a little cheeky like run out, port back. And if you run like all the way towards the edge and port back, the little circle is going to follow you kind of pretty much along the same path where you came from. So you're kind of like saving space that way. If you get picked up by this ad, just swap to it. They are fully crowd controllable, so you can Shadow Fury them. Curse of Exhaustion to slow them. I'm not actually too sure how Coil and Fear works with it. It'd be kind of weird if you fear it and it starts running in random directions. I don't think I've ever tried that. Maybe I will try that one time. So yeah, you want to prow the ad down. If it's clumped up next to the boss, you could send seed. I'm out of shards, so I'm just kind of sending Drain Soul. Got the circle, so we're going to kite outside, port back. Harvest is up, so we send it. We're going to dump some shards again, go back down lower. Make sure my Nightfalls don't expire. You don't want to let your Nightfalls expire on single target. They're a lot of damage, especially with the Soul Harvester tree. There's a dot that goes out on this fight. I don't know if it's a dot or if it's just like pulsing AoE. But I definitely should be using my defenses more when that like thing's out. It doesn't really show up on my debuff tray, which kind of confuses me. And there we go, boys. 17 timed. I did time an 18 after this. I think on demo. Just wanted to do an AF commentary. Just swap it up a bit, you know? But yeah, that's going to be the commentary video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Like I said, I am going to be posting more of these to come. More content is on the way. So definitely leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know. All that stuff really helps me out. Go leave a follow on my Twitch page. Come hang and stream. We're doing Warlock keys. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Take it easy till then. Have a good one. Bye.